Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be making a Portuguese bean soup Hawaiian style. And I have all the ingredients laid out in front of me, so I'm going to show you that. Super easy, only a handful of ingredients, minimal prep time. You can make it in a crock pot if you want. I made part of it in a crock pot, which is the stock, the ham hock stock, and to cook the ham hocks. I did that overnight, and then today I'm going to put it all together on the stovetop. So right now it's cold in California, and I'm in Southern California, and it rained yesterday. It's going to rain later today. I'm going to take advantage of the sun being out right now, so I'm going to make this real fast. Not really fast, but I'm going to make it because it's quick, and I know it's going to be cold later, and I've been craving this soup on a really cold day. So I'm going to get this done, go out and do some things, and enjoy this soup tonight. So here we go. I'm going to go over the ingredients with you right now. Alright, so here are the ingredients. We have Portuguese sausage right here. This is a mild one. It's not the spicy one. If you want to do spicy, go right ahead. Celery, we have 2 stalks. Handful of carrots, I have 5 here. They're kind of small, so I did 5. If you have 2 large ones, 3 large ones. I have an onion, Napa cabbage. I'm only going to use half of this. Some garlic. I have bay leaf, kidney beans. This is 2 cans of kidney beans. If you make yours from scratch, the kidney beans, it would be 2 cups of dry. Ham hocks, which I boiled, or I didn't boil, but I put in a crock pot overnight on low, so they're super tender. I'm going to take those off the bones and chop them up. This is 2 quarts of stock from the ham hocks. That's going to be the broth. 2 russet potatoes. If you have Yukon potatoes, that would be good. Basically any kind of potato. A can of diced tomatoes. I chose petite diced tomatoes because it's a soup. And a can of tomato sauce. And that's pretty much it. These are the ingredients. I'm going to get the ingredients chopped up and get them ready for the soup pot. Okay, here we go. We're adding the Portuguese sausage in here. I'm not putting any oil into the pan, into the pot, because there's a lot of oils, there's a lot of fat in this sausage, and I want that to render out. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and the sausage is starting to brown up a little bit. The oils are starting to come out. So from this point, I'm going to grab the cut vegetables. French, we would call this mirepoix. Onions, carrots, and celery. I'm going to add all that in there. And toss this around. I'm going to give this about 3 minutes in here, just to get coated with the oil, just to start to soften a little bit. I don't want this to soften too much here, because this is going to simmer for about half an hour. So the vegetables have been going for a few minutes. You can see they're starting to get a little opaque. The onions are breaking down. And I'm going to add the garlic and bay leaf. Just give this a quick stir. Don't need to cook this for very long. Definitely don't want to burn the garlic. And from here it's real simple. We're going to take the tomato sauce, 1 can, add that in there. Make sure we get it all, so we're going to scrape this in. Next, the diced tomatoes go in. Give this a quick stir. Now, that's your base, including the stock. Now, if you didn't cook the ham hocks prior to, you would add the ham hocks now and simmer this for 2 hours. Take the ham hocks out, break them down however you want, chop them up with or without the skin, and put it back in. But because I already have the stock made, I'm going to add the beans right now, and I'm going to add the potatoes. So these potatoes are diced. I rinsed them with water to get the excess starch off, and we're going to add this in here now. Give this a quick stir. I'm going to bring this up to a boil and simmer this for 30 minutes. We also have to add in the chopped ham hocks. So that's going to go in right now. Okay, the soup has been simmering for half an hour now, and the potatoes they're getting tender. So they're not quite done, but that's okay because we need to add in the Napa cabbage. Now, if you don't have Napa cabbage, use regular cabbage. And actually, at the store yesterday, they didn't have regular cabbage. So, there are a lot of ingredients you can't find that you need to get creative with these days because of the supply chain and what's going on out there. So, I'm going to simmer this for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and it's going to be done. The other component I didn't talk about earlier in this is pasta. You need to add pasta to this. So traditionally it's elbow macaroni. Today I'm going to be using shells. So I'm going to cook this on the side. If you were going to cook this and serve it right away and not really have too many leftovers, I would throw the pasta in and you'd be done. This takes about 8 minutes and you would be done. I cook it on the side, that way I can add it in days after and warm it up. That way the pasta doesn't get super soggy and nasty. So I'm going to cook those on the side. This is going to simmer and I'll show you the presentation at the end. Alright, the pasta is done. I cooked it 1 minute under the recommended time to keep it super al dente, because I'm going to show you what I do to finish this soup. Now the soup right here, you can serve without the pasta if you want, in case you're not wanting pasta, which is fine. So what I do, because I don't want to put the noodles inside the soup, because they'll become very mushy after a day. Put some broth in there. We're going to heat this up. It's already hot, but we're going to heat it a little more. And then take the pasta and add a little to the soup. And this just needs to go for about 2 minutes in here once it starts boiling. That way the noodles will be completely cooked. Because we undercooked them before, this will finish the process. I'm going to take a little bit of pepper, crank that in there. Okay, to bowl up this soup, the shells have been simmering for 2 minutes. We just ladle this into your favorite soup bowl. I happen to really like this soup bowl, the Chinese style soup bowl. Oh my gosh. Alright, so this is how it is. Let's get a close-up on this. Now, what you can see the pasta, Portuguese sausage right here. There's beans, cabbage, carrots, the tomatoes, the broth. When you smell this, it has a slight smokiness from the ham hocks. You can smell all the vegetables. So this is gonna be perfect for tonight when it starts raining and it gets super cold. Now I'm gonna tell you about a little bit of history about the Portuguese soup in Hawaii. Late 1800s to about 1915, the Portuguese started to immigrate to Hawaii. And with that, they went to go work the sugar plantations and cattle ranches. And with that, they brought their cuisine. So the Portuguese have a really good bean soup, and it's really hearty. And after working all day in the fields or with the cattle, you want something really hearty. So they brought, another contribution they brought was sweetbread. So Hawaiian sweetbread came from the Portuguese, and they used local ingredients to kind of change it. So the bean soup was a Portuguese addition and contribution to the Hawaiian cuisine. And there were a lot of cultures that came together in Hawaii. So Hawaii really is a melting pot, just like the United States. And they kind of stuck to their groups, but as they started to commingle later, came the food. And so if you went to go visit somebody's house and you're Portuguese, you might bring the bean soup or you might bring sweetbread. And if you were from Okinawa, you might bring some sweet potatoes. And if you're from Japan, you could bring teriyaki, or you could bring some sushi, rice dishes, and things like that. So Hawaii is definitely a melting pot. The Portuguese sausage usually is spicy. I tend to go for the mild one, just because I'm cooking for other people or for kids. The spicy one is delicious. This soup that I made today, to make it spicy, what I would do is add the Hawaiian chili pepper water. So it's going to add a vinegar hit. Just put a few splashes of that and it's great. Or Hawaiian chili sauce. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. And the next one, I'm not sure what it'll be. I do want to make oxtail soup. And after that, I have a series. It's going to be a 2-part series. And it's coming up. It won't be released for probably a month and a half or 2 months, but I'm making a bourbon barrel porter beer. So I started it a couple days ago. It takes 8 weeks from start to finish. So that is in the works. Anyway, thank you. I know it sounds cheesy and everything, but subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, hit that like button and let's get this channel growing. Thanks. See you next time.